In an interview with Seth Dillon, the CEO of the Babylon Bee, Elon Musk said, "Wokeness wants to make comedy illegal. Do we want a humanist society that is simply rife with condemnation and hate? At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful. It gives mean people a shield to be cruel, armored in virtue." Well, don't worry, everyone. Elon Musk actually made comedy legal on Twitter recently when he took over it. And aren't all you guys finding the jokes that the Babylon Bee is putting out about Elon Musk to be absolutely hilarious? Like, comedy is definitely back. Comedy is simping for a billionaire taking over a massive social media platform, running it into the ground, firing loads of people unfairly, just proving to the world that meritocracy doesn't really exist. Isn't that the height of comedy? Now, there is something so embarrassing about Elon Musk's simps. What is even more embarrassing is it appears part of the reason Elon Musk actually bought Twitter in the first place was to unban the Babylon Bee, because the Babylon Bee historically has always simped for Elon Musk. Like, loads of its so-called jokes are just basically talking about how great Elon Musk is. It's totally embarrassing. And of course, its CEO itself is a massive Elon Musk simp as well. So today, what I thought would be fun is to do a bit of a dive into the Babylon Bee recently and its relationship with Elon Musk and its relationship to Elon Musk actually buying Twitter in the first place, because this guy has to be like the most pathetic out of all the billionaires. It just seems like everything Elon Musk does is motivated by his desire to be liked, probably because his own dad hates him, probably because he was bullied really badly when he was younger. So that's his super villain origin story. And that's why he's become more pro far-right conservative now, because those are all the people giving him the attention. Because before, it was people who cared about the environment, thought Elon Musk was going to save the world with these overpriced electric cars. Now it's just basically every far-right grifter in America is competing for his attention, and he'll happily give them it, because all it takes is for you to talk about how great Elon Musk is and how he's the biggest defender of free speech in the world. And actually him firing loads of people from Twitter unjustly was him sticking it to the left, because before then, of course, as we all know, Silicon Valley is totally overrun with Marxists and socialists. Not that every Silicon Valley CEO basically has a copy of Atlas Shrugged by their bedside table. But before we go any further, please like the video, and also in the comments, let me know, what is the worst conservative, I guess, comedy sketch, article you have ever seen? Like, I made a lot of videos on this channel talking about conservative comedy, and I guess this is another one, more in relation to Elon Musk. I feel like some of these are actually the worst, but let me know down in the comments. Of course, I love that guy, that Jim Brewer guy, screaming like a maniac.
Numbers are going up, numbers are going up.
That was funny for all the wrong reasons. Also, check out my Twitter at the Kavernacle. Also, the same username on my Instagram, where I'm posting all about my travels around Southeast Asia, and that is all saved in the highlight reel. Also, if you care about that stuff even more, please check out the Patreon page. I'm posting a video about every country I go to. Sorry for the delay on the second video about Cambodia. I've just been really busy this month, but that will be up hopefully sometime in the next couple of weeks. Also, check out the subreddit and check out my second channel. All of that stuff in the description. So when Elon Musk was mulling over making a bid for Twitter to become its new CEO, he was running polls on his Twitter saying, like, would you like me to buy this? Do you want it to be more about free speech and the First Amendment and stuff like that? So now let's get into how the Babylon Bee actually factors into Elon Musk buying Twitter. This has to be one of the most pathetic stories probably of all time. Like, the richest man on earth buying a massive social media company for a huge markup, like apparently like 24 billion over what it was worth, all because he wanted a conservative satire site to have its Twitter account back. So Seth Dillon, who's the CEO of the Babylon Bee, said, "Musk reached out to us before he polled his followers about Twitter's commitment to free speech. He wanted to confirm that we had in fact been suspended. He even mused on that call that he might need to buy Twitter now that he's the largest shareholder and has a seat on the board." And this followed the Babylon Bee's ban after it was transphobic. So Elon Musk, lovely guy, on their own website they wrote, "Twitter suspends the Babylon Bee. Readers of the Bee, we received a notice from Twitter last night informing us that we've been locked out of our account for engaging in hateful conduct. Our crime? We jokingly selected Rachel Levin, a prominent transgender government official, as our pick for Man of the Year. This was our satirical response to Levin's being named as one of the top women of the year by USA Today. Yes, it actually happened. I don't really understand how throwing a woman into the Men of the Year category is satire. It's obviously just misgendering someone as a so-called joke. Then they said, we've been told our account will be restored in 12 hours, but the countdown won't begin until we delete the tweet that violated the rules. So Twitter could of course delete the tweet themselves, but they won't. It's not enough for them to just wipe it out. They want us to bend the knee and admit that we engaged in hateful conduct because you did. I can promise you that it's not happening. Truth is not hate speech. If the cost of telling the truth is the loss of our Twitter account, then so be it. We won't compromise the truth just to keep our account. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The greatest accomplishment on Twitter isn't going viral or building a huge following or getting verified. It's getting banned for saying something true. We're proud to stand up for the truth, and we're deeply appreciative of each and every one of you who commits to standing with us, Seth Dillon, CEO. So apparently them making a joke to start with is now the truth, right? A woman should be put on the Man of the Year list, apparently, according to them. That's not hateful conduct. That's not misgendering someone on purpose to try and make some sort of joke. That's you speaking the truth. So as well as motivating Elon Musk to buy Twitter, get a load of what he did when he became the CEO. This is so funny and so sad. He made getting the Babylon Bees account back priority 1 on his first day. So let's get into this article by Insider. Elon Musk wanted to reinstate a right-wing satire account on day 1 as Twitter chief. How absolutely sad is this guy? Elon Musk had his sights set on bringing back the Twitter account for right-wing Christian satire website The Babylon Bee on day 1 as Twitter CEO in October. The site's account was reinstated on Sunday, 3 weeks after his takeover of Twitter. According to the Washington Post, when Musk took over in October, one of his main directives was to reactivate the Babylon Bee account. The Post reported that in days after Musk took over, he met with lawyer Alex Spiro and the head of Twitter's trust and safety team, Yul Roth, and said that the Babylon Bee's tweet was not cool, but it was not a sticks and stones violation, like a violent threat. Weeks before Musk's purchase, ex-wife Tallulah Riley texted Musk, criticizing the platform's decision to ban the Babylon Bee and calling for him to reverse the decision and make the platform radically free speech. And you can read the text here. She says, "Can you buy Twitter and then delete it, please? America is going insane. The Babylon Bee got suspension is crazy. Raya and I were talking about it today. It was a joke. Why is everyone being so puritanical? Or can you buy Twitter and make it radically free speech? So much stupidity comes from Twitter." Elon Musk replies, "Maybe buy it and change it to properly support free speech, like, or can you buy Twitter and make it radically free speech?" She replies, "I honestly think social media is the scourge of modern life, and the worst of all is Twitter, because it's also a news stream as well as a social platform, and so has more real-world standing than TikTok, but it's very easy to exploit and is being used by radicals for social engineering on a massive scale, and this is infecting the world. Please do something to fight wokeism. I will do anything to help." And then another quote, "Hours after Elon Musk took control of Twitter in late October, the trust and safety team responsible for combating hate speech on the site received an urgent directive. Bring back the Babylon Bee." And then the Babylon Bee tweeted, "We're back." Let that sink in a pathetic reference to that Elon Musk joke when he first became CEO of Twitter, where he brought a sink into the building. A joke that doesn't even make sense, because if you're just carrying a sink through the door, who is letting the sink in the first place? So Tallulah Riley is an actress you might have seen in Westworld, but I do find it funny Elon Musk was motivated by her and the Babylon Bee being suspended to buy Twitter. That's all it took. This one outlet that simps for him no matter what, constantly promotes him, all of their jokes focusing about how great he is. Again, that is why he bought Twitter. How absolutely sad. And this is why billionaires shouldn't exist across like a whole host of reasons. They just do stuff to feed their ego. Like, I like Twitter. It wasn't perfect. It could use a bit of reform in terms of its rules, in that conservatives always broke them and seemingly face no consequences, where leftists would always get banned for no reason, and they currently are still getting banned for no reason, while far-right accounts get promoted to us. Elon Musk's ownership is like destroying it. Like, you guys who use Twitter a lot, you would have noticed like things like trending not working, timelines not refreshing, you can't search for certain things anymore. It just seems to like not work like it used to. I feel like he'll eventually sell it at a massive loss and get someone else to run it. But now let's get into the Babylon Bee's jokes about Twitter and jokes about Elon Musk firing loads of people for no reason. And basically this idea that conservatives have that everyone who was working at Twitter was a lazy, entitled millennial, only focused on what conditioner they use for their man bun, meditating, having all the snacks. And basically you guys would have seen those TikToks going around of people who work in like the tech sector and stuff, And a lot of these TikToks just show them having a great time and basically doing no work, which has contributed to this image that people in this industry don't actually do anything, when it's been revealed, especially in the last couple of years, that people in tech, from like video games to social media, are crunched brutally, and it's so competitive, they always have someone else to come in and do it if they don't want to. And then a lot of this stuff also gets outsourced to places like India, where they're crunched brutally as well, but for even worse pay. A lot of the time, these companies are very stressful to work out, just like a lot of jobs. But a lot of these perks you see, like meditation rooms, free food, that's to keep you at work. That's so you don't go somewhere else for lunch and don't come back for hours. That's so you don't feel like you have to go home. It's not there just to be like, oh, we love you so much, here's free stuff. No, it's meant to keep people at work for longer. So let's start with one of the Babylon Bee sketches on YouTube, where a former Twitter employee who's been fired by Elon Musk goes into, I think, some sort of mechanics, asking for a job. And you guys will see how hilarious conservative comedy is. The whole premise relies on you believing that everyone who works at Twitter and everyone who works in tech is basically totally incompetent and just cares about doing nothing all day, while the real workers, in this case the real men, are manual laborers and mechanics.
You know, you're 20 minutes late.
Yeah, at Twitter we didn't have like start times. Schedules are a remnant of an oppressive colonialist regime.
We need to find someone who can inspect all of our outgoing... Miss, are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm not really used to bosses using trigger words like demanding and inspect and work.
But this is a job.
We don't say that either.
Then how do you get any work? How do you get any stuff done?
Us dweebs got tons of stuff done on Twitter. I was responsible for so much as a content moderation specialist. Some days during my afternoon cornhole sesh, I'd get a text telling me I had to ban someone.
So then you'd have to actually like walk over to your computer and ban them?
No. I would just hit a button on my phone and then BAM! Babylon Bee, banned. Libs of TikTok, banned. Steve from Fruitport, Michigan, you know he banned.
What else did you do there?
Drank like a sailor. They had wine on tap, mimosas, a full micro brewery.
Did you have any questions for us?
Tons. Okay, first, you don't actually, like, expect me to come into the office, do you?
Well, how do you expect to get any work done, labor done, stuff done at the factory without coming into the factory?
Oh, so this is like a job. Yeah, that might be a deal breaker for me. Also, I didn't notice any meditation rooms when I came in. Do you guys have any gurus on site, or is it more like a BYOG type situation?
BYO what?
Also, I didn't see a QR code for your lunch menu, but I assume your shrimp is non-GMO and cage-free.
So where do I even start with that? It just is embarrassing to watch. So many people in the comments are saying this is the most funny thing they've ever seen. Like, it's like humor from like 2014 or even earlier about lazy entitled millennials who just want to sit around all day drinking, I don't know, spiced pumpkin lattes and eating avocado toast. Like, it's an absolutely ridiculous stereotype, which isn't even funny because it's not even satire, because millennials and Gen Z are really screwed over by the economy, where people don't have the benefits of the past. So it's not like these people are super entitled and lazy. But I'll admit, in the tech sector, sometimes you do get things like, I don't know, free drinks or free breakfast. But again, that's because these people work hard and the people at the top want them to stay working there. It's not because working at Twitter is just a party 24/7 where no one does any work. And I love how they have to mention like libs of TikTok and the Babylon Bee in their sketch, because that makes it all the more funny that this person personally banned them. Let me know in the comments, did you find that at all humorous? If this was once funny, like maybe 10 years ago, it's definitely so overplayed now. And do you remember in my last video, we talked about Nick Adams? Nick Adams talks about people like this as well. And I said, it's basically like he's a conservative who's teleported from 2015 into 2022. And that's what this comedy sketch feels like. It feels like something from Family Guy from like 2012, 13, 14, because it's been so overdone now. Even if this could have been funny, it's just not funny anymore. Of course, what it's doing is setting it up so it's like, well, Elon Musk went in there and he's such a good businessman. He just had to fire so many people because they're all like this woman here. They just wouldn't do anything apart from ban right-wing accounts on Twitter, then go back to drinking loads and getting loads of free stuff, because that's what Twitter was, 24/7 party. Anyone laughing about him potentially ruining the lives of thousands of people is just pretty gross in my opinion. And this is how they're justifying it to themselves. They're saying, well, he got rid of all these woke idiots who just sat around on their phones all day banning the Babylon Bee. That is this unfunny video sketch, but let's get into some of the articles they've been writing. So there's numerous articles. They've been going after Elon Musk critics like AOC and Stephen King, and also just generally making light of the situation and acting like Elon Musk has done all these things to make Twitter a better platform. But before we go through that, there's this article back in April, and I actually read this in my last video, which featured the Babylon Bee. And it's so unfunny and bad, and I think is so indicative of what conservatives and Elon Musk simps find funny. I just had to share it again, so let's read this article. So April 14th, I'm Elon Musk, and I'm here to rescue you, says Musk, while busting everyone out of Twitter Death Star detention level, and there's Elon Musk's face, pasted on Mark Hamill's as Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars movie. Alderaan system. Elon Musk and a brave band of adventurers snuck aboard the Twitter Death Star to free prisoners located on the space station's detention level. Sources with the rebellion confirm. Twitter Death Star, which resembles a small moon, was first spotted near the remains of Alderaan, a peaceful planet that was destroyed for believing in only 2 genders. Oh my god. The space station is equipped with a super blaster powered by kyber crystals, capable of cancelling anyone who opposes Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal. Elon Musk reportedly disguised himself as a Twitter mod who was escorting a recently suspended freethinker to a banned chamber. Once inside, he dispatched the guards and then rushed for the nearest cell to free the prisoner inside. Aren't you a little short for a Twitter mod? Everyone says so, says a grizzled Donald Trump. Oh, the uniform. Musk removed his helmet. I'm Elon Musk. I'm here to rescue you. Wow, oh, you're the guy that does rockets. That's great. Really terrific. According to sources, Musk was able to free Trump, the Babylon Bee. That is so sad. Alex Jones, Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, and even some Rhodians. However, during their daring escape, Trump was killed in a trash compactor while trying to post on Truth Social. Musk and the Twitter prisoners reportedly escaped aboard a SpaceX Starship. With Twitter Death Star in his rearview mirror, Musk vowed to either buy the space station or destroy it. Why not both? He mused to himself. Despite it being like insanely sad that the Babylon Bee are making Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter like something heroic, like he's Luke Skywalker freeing everyone who was a prisoner of cancel culture on the Death Star. But can we just talk about how ridiculous the whole premise is? Because a lot of the time in The Onion, the satire is quite funny because it's often bordering on like the reality, or it's actually trying to say something about reality. But like, what is this trying to say? Like, I don't understand. What is the point of this article? It's not funny. Just taking something from sci-fi and pop culture and sticking a situation from real life into it to make Elon Musk look good, like, isn't funny. So what is the actual point of it? The point of it is just to simp for Elon Musk and also to pander to his fans. Because like I said, Elon Musk is like the Big Bang Theory. His humor is basically just saying a bunch of pop culture references, which is really not funny, and it's completely stuck in a different era of like either the internet or just society in general. And this is what this article feels like. It feels like it is tailor-made to appeal to Elon Musk fans who will absolutely love the crossover of him buying Twitter, him standing up for free speech, and him being a Star Wars character. But I just find it like so cringeworthy and embarrassing to read. Someone got paid to write that. Can you imagine that's your job? You sit there and crank that out and you feel proud of yourself that you've written something either funny or making a point or is good satire. Good satire isn't inventing ridiculous scenarios and posting your own fan fiction into it. Because not all of you would have watched my last video, I just had to share that. But let's get on to some more recent articles about all of this. So this one was making the rounds on Twitter because it's just absolutely terrible. And in an attempt to make it look like they were in on the joke, the Babylon Bee actually did try to make a joke about how bad this article is. So, because Stephen King has been criticizing Elon Musk a lot, Stephen King estate reveals he died years ago. And his Twitter account is being run by a mentally ill, glue-sniffing parrot with Tourette's. Again, so cringeworthy, so long, not good satire, totally ridiculous, just making up ridiculous stuff and adding loads of description into it and thinking people will find this funny. So they absolutely got roasted because it's like, what the hell is wrong with you, trying well too hard? And then they retweeted themselves saying, a lot of people are missing the joke, so allow us to explain. And then they just read the headline again, hope this helps, making it look like they were fully self-aware when they weren't. The article just says, Stephen King fans have long been perplexed to how the man who wrote The Shining, The Dark Tower, and Misery could possibly be the same guy who logs onto Twitter and tweets like a 7-year-old chimpanzee with anger issues. Stephen King doesn't have a reputation for tweeting like Donald Trump, so this comparison, again, if you're trying to make some satire or tell a joke about Stephen King's Twitter presence, this is literally written by some conservative boomer. You can't convince me anyone younger than 50 has written this article. And then it goes on to say, well, you can consider this mystery solved. The King estate confirmed today that the famed author actually died when he got hit by a van back in 1999, and they've just been releasing manuscripts. They found stuff in his dresser drawer since then. But what about the insane rants posted on a Twitter account? But the premise of this article doesn't work because he doesn't, rant insane things on Twitter. So enter this little gal, Penny, a clinically insane, blue-throated macaw who sniffs glue regularly and suffers from Tourette syndrome. Again, what the hell is this article? Penny was hired to keep King's Twitter account running with political hot takes and commentary on current events. She logs onto his Twitter every morning and just starts ranting like an absolute maniac on whatever the current topic is, or smashes the keys to tweet something insane about Trump. Orange man bad, squawked Penny this morning after drinking her first cup of coffee, laced with meth. Lock him up. She then got to work bashing her beak onto the keyboard, tweeting something insane about DeSantis, Trump, Republicans, and every other political topic imaginable. We wanted King's voice to remain relevant in the political sphere, said Hank Herbert, one of King's estate managers, and Penny is just the gal for the job. She's annoying, she squawks all the time, and she pretty much acts exactly like an angry toddler, making her tweets perfect for King to go viral on lefty Twitter. So I think I said in my other video, the Luke Skywalker thing was one of the worst things I read. That is definitely one of the worst things I read. Like, can someone please tell me, if you're a fan of the Babylon Bee, like, what is the joke there? If the joke is supposed to be that, Stephen King is a hysterical lefty, right? I think there has to be some truth to that to make this a funny joke. But he's not hysterical. I wouldn't even consider him a leftist. He's pretty much just a liberal guy, right? And I don't read his tweets and see someone who's like really unhinged. It's not like Nick Adams from the last video. It's not like Donald Trump. But then, like I said, this isn't good satire. This isn't funny because what is this deal with the parrot? Like, maybe you could work in a parrot into some joke like this by just repeating the same thing. If it's like Elon Musk who keeps telling the same jokes, maybe that would be funnier if you compared like a parrot running Elon Musk's social media account. But this parrot with Tourette's, this is just so embarrassing to read. I don't know about you guys, but the reason I hate TikTok is because I think about the construction of some of the videos there. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm thinking about someone sitting down with their boss or a writer's room thinking about, oh, how can we make a joke about how much Stephen King hates Elon Musk? Oh, I know. Let's compare him to a parrot with Tourette's. Oh my God. Not even funny in how ridiculous it is, just completely sad because we know they're trying to do this to attack critics of Elon Musk. Secondhand embarrassment. I hope the person who wrote that watches this video and then reads the comments talking about their article. So as we all know, conservatives don't really have many jokes. So the Babylon Bee actually recycled the joke I just showed you in the video for an article. So former Twitter employee can't seem to find meditation room at new Taco Bell job. So this is literally the exact same joke they just told. I guess conservatives now have a third joke. According to sources, a local developer who was recently let go from Twitter is having a difficult time finding the meditation room at his new job at Taco Bell. It's got to be around here somewhere, said the confused second shift burrito assembly specialist as he looked around the facility. I hope I find it soon because that last order was very, very stressful. Sources say the man previously held a prestigious position at Twitter as an assistant algorithmic diversity intervention and sensitivity coordinator, making $200K a year. He also enjoyed free food, unlimited naps, and the use of 42 conveniently placed quiet rooms for transcendent meditation between meetings. Hey guys, where do I go to meditate around here? He said to his confused co-workers before slipping in a puddle of nacho cheese and collapsing on the floor in a fit of sobs. His shift manager then kindly informed him that he could meditate in the cooler for a few minutes as long as he brought back 3 bags of shredded lettuce. At publishing time, the man has been fired after insulting his shift manager on Twitter. If you don't get that last part, it's because Elon Musk was having like public disagreements with Twitter employees who were just correcting wild statements he said, and then he would fire them. And also, guys in the comments, especially people who've worked like more manual jobs, like you've been a server at McDonald's or Taco Bell, and you've worked in the corporate world, I want to know your experiences. I want to know if you went from a corporate office job into more manual labor, were you completely shocked by everything? Now, obviously I'm a full-time YouTuber, but my job as like a teenager was security guard, retail, at like a rugby stadium, and then I had an office job up London and stuff. And obviously each job is hard for its own reasons. Like sometimes the more manual labor job is easier because the work is more simple and you can just get on with it. Sometimes the management are more chilled because what you're doing is a bit more simple and it's more stressful because of the repetitiveness and because you get more physically tired, right? And I will admit that corporate jobs are often nicer because a lot of the time it's more chilled, you can sit down all day, it's not as strict day to day, but then you have those periods of crunch, those periods where you're working very long hours, you have to deal with terrible bureaucracy as well. But there are obviously pros and cons to both jobs, but I would also say anyone who works any job really isn't someone who's super soft, and they're not idiots as well. Like, you wouldn't go into a Taco Bell after working at Twitter and think there's like meditation rooms and stuff. You'd understand that the perks you have at like a high profile company like Twitter in a high level job are perks you get because of that job, and also, like I said, to keep you there. I also do love how conservatives try and frame different workers, right? And I've seen some leftists do this, especially like the MAGA communist types, is that people who work at places like Twitter, they're not real workers. They're like the bourgeoisie, liberal elite and stuff. It's the people who only work at Taco Bell or mechanic. Those are the only workers that matter. And obviously the Babylon Bee has been playing into this throughout the stuff I've shown you, where Twitter workers are soft, they don't do work, they're all leftists who hate conservatives, and their only role was to suppress conservative speech while drinking their fifth mimosa of the day and then meditating for hours. But again, what is the purpose of writing these articles? I do understand what the joke actually is of this one, but it's just to play defense for Elon Musk. I meant to say to people, well, look, you guys all knew it. These Twitter employees were lazy. They were entitled millennials with man buns, beards. They wanted to work remotely in like Bali, and Elon Musk wouldn't let them because he actually wanted them to do work. But of course, we know that's not true, because Elon Musk started begging people to come back because he fired them too quickly, not realizing they were absolutely vital to the running of Twitter. So these were just the Babylon Bee articles about Elon Musk. And as you can see, a lot of the time, you don't even know what the joke is supposed to be. The other times, the joke isn't funny. And at worst, these are just embarrassing to read because they just come off as a bunch of writers who just absolutely love Elon Musk, think he can do no wrong, and their comedy is just trying to defend everything he does. They do know what we've been talking about in a lot of videos, what conservative comedy is. Conservative comedy is not about being funny. It's not about satirizing the powerful. It's not about making a commentary on society. It's about reaffirming conservative political thought and conservative political beliefs. That's why conservative comedy is so bad. That's why conservative movies are so bad, because they're ramming a political message down your throat, or they're trying to make you laugh by saying something you agree with. Because last time we watched that video about Californians moving to Texas, and the Babylon Bee has actually made like a whole series out of his sketches, and it's basically just based on every single stereotype that conservatives believe about Californians, while making it seem like Texans are just awesome and manly. And of course, for a lot of conservatives, that just reaffirms the narrative that Texas is now the place to be. It's the place for freedom. Everyone is fleeing California and moving to Texas because Joe Rogan did it, talking about how Texas is like really, really safe compared to LA when we went through the statistics that it actually isn't. But again, they don't care. They just want to reaffirm their political beliefs. Don't believe me? Check out the comments on these Babylon Bee videos and you will see the type of people this comedy appeals to. And I think just general conservative attitudes to comedy is also perfect for Elon Musk, because he hates The Onion because The Onion makes fun of him. He loves the Babylon Bee because they would never make fun of him. And they just reaffirm his worldview and ego by talking about how great he is and talking about how every decision he ever made was actually great, like firing loads of people on Twitter. And they try and frame like criticism of him from Stephen King as something unhinged with that terrible parrot joke. Because in essence, because Seth Dillon is such a simp for Elon Musk, and because the old regime at Twitter banned the Babylon Bee and Seth Dillon for breaking their TOS and not deleting the tweets that broke the TOS, Elon Musk literally bought Twitter because his favorite pro-Elon Musk propaganda outlet wasn't on Twitter anymore. You literally cannot get more pathetic than Elon Musk at this point. Anyway, that is it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and if you made it this far, thank you for watching.